Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a building that has seen it all through the many... The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Let's go.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. On second and 7, Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it.
And the pressure gets to him again. Shane Ray in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Got his man, that's Tyrell Williams. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 23 yards, the final tally.
Bravo.
On 1st down, Carr. The 20. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 36 yards on the play. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. From 13 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know, you're right, because that's part of it, but that's...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shane Ray, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Throwing his lock on third down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Returning here is Wright. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
45. Mike, 45. Pick it up. Raider 1. Check Mike 45.
To throw again. Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 119 yards, and the score.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
A Raider first down, 17 yards. Carr now already at 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now Carr again. He's going to fire one deep, middle. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you could do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
From the 35 on 2nd down. Lock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The throw complete here to Williams.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Carr going to throw, and he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. In his own end zone, it's Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Here we go. Mike's 59.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Here we go. Check that.
From his end zone, it's Carr on 3rd and long. He's airing it out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. Not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Right. He's telling the right.
Locked to throw on 2nd down. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
734.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Watch safety creep. Safety's creep. Express. Mike, check.
Throwing again. Carr. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Shane Ray in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. From the gun, a run for Johnson. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. The Broncos on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They can use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 15. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
Let's go deep, Let's go.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Lock. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Maurice Hurst in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down. On 3rd and long, it's Lock. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Lock. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Here's Carr to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. Now they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24, and that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Matchbox lights.
4, check 4. Ready, 9.
From the gun, it's Carr. He's got it to Williams. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a route is on here in this first half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
I can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, They'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On second down, Johnson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. The Broncos on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. "51 yards on the punt there. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. Carr now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
I don't know about you, but if I'm the offensive line coach right now, I'm having an absolute fit. This team that they're going against has 3 sacks, yet they rank dead last in the league in sacks coming into this game.
Maybe overlooked them a little bit?
Could be. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if they've just gotten fortunate along the way. I have no real great answer for it, but we're seeing something you don't often see.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Carr. Got a man, it's complete, Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. From midfield, here's Carr. He's going to fire one deep. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Darren Waller on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Throwing again on 2nd down. Locke.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some of the best games of the weekend come in that 1 o'clock Eastern window, one of which features the Panthers at home in Carolina, as they'll have to do battle with the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Out on the West Coast, more good stuff in the late afternoon, as we'll be watching the one down in Carson, where it'll be the Chargers taking on the New Orleans Saints. And lastly, we'll wrap up the week on Monday Night Football. Definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team.
The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22.
6-18.
From the gun, Carr. Wide open receiver complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 78 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after him early and try and create a...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This one complete to Devin Funchess. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They look to throw. It's Locke. And he's going to go down again. Max Crosby in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. Throwing now is Locke. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Cleveland Farrell. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
Tyrell Williams heading back out onto the field now. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now they try the right side here. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Draymond Jones able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Check, 45's the mic. Later 2. Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Hey, orbit.
45. 637. 45. Express.
They do go for it. It's Carr. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
52 is the mic right here over there, right? 52.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Come on, boy. You better be ready.
Express. Switch.
Now a handoff looking right. That's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Later one. Check 43.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. This is caught inside the 15. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, 47 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Again, it's Johnson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Clock now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
And sure, you hate the end result being a sack, but my question is, why are you going play action on 3rd and long anyway? No defense is going to respect the run in that situation. They're headed straight for the quarterback.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now they try the right side here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. 64 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They begin the drive with Johnson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Watch left, watch left, watch left.
Throwing on 2nd down. Lock. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's get it. Get it.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Block. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. To throw it is Lock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now Oakland ready to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of field time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but it also...
He's got him in, complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 47 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups. 1 yard.
Brings up 69 at the Broncos' 23-yard line.
You're mine. Come. Express. Run.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
He finds an opening past the 40, the 40, the 30, 10, and he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos get one score closer. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
But I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
The pickup there, 5 yards.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. And sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now they try the right side here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw again on second down. Lock. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. That'll be third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Here's Lock. Now Lock, he lost the football. It's held. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, second and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a fourth down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Jim, watch out. Watch the air.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now a handoff looking right. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think